All right, part two. This is your third video. We're going to talk about non-elder church officers. In Israel, there were elders who were given responsibility and authority in Israel as a nation. They were given certain power from Moses, certain authority and responsibility, and that has carried over into the church. And so pastors, deacons, trustees, bishops, presbyters, shepherds. There's all these different titles that are used for people who have authority in the church. And we call these spiritual leaders elders. And so that's what we've talked about quite a bit already, at least somewhat in the first two videos. Now we're going to branch out and dig a little deeper into the non-elder church officers. So these are not pastors, not deacons, but they are still official, constitutionally required offices that have to be filled. And so I'll tell you what these six are, and also a basic rundown of what each one of these people do. Our clerk, and I will not name any of these folks lest I date this video. That'll be your job to figure out who holds these offices. But our clerk keeps our official records, takes minutes in our business meetings, and maintains a church roll of membership. And they also issue and receive letters of membership transfer if you go to join another church and we need to recommend you to them, or if you're joining our church from another church and we receive a letter of recommendation from the other church, then the clerk is the one who files all that. And after a period of time, they do turn in their records and we put them in a fireproof safe here on the church premises. But the clerk keeps our official records. Then we have a treasurer. The treasurer receives our financial income, whether that's, well, most of it's donations, but, if we have a Christmas banquet, then they're going to be receiving, the ticket payments. Or if we're going to camp, they're going to receive those payments. Or if we receive interest payments on a certificate of deposit, then obviously the treasurer's receiving all income. And they also pay all of our bills and all of our obligations to missionaries and so on and so forth, projects that need to be paid for. They maintain financial records, and our treasurer also reports to the congregation on a quarterly basis and then on an annual basis as well. And from time to time, we audit our treasurer's work. Then we have a financial secretary. It's kind of like a vice president, you might say, for the treasurer. The financial secretary is supposed to help with the receiving of funds, and also the financial secretary must be prepared to step in and do the job of the treasurer if it were to become necessary. So it is an important position, or at least it can be, depending on the circumstances. We have a backup for our treasurer. Then fourthly, we have a head usher. The head usher makes sure that we have ushers for our assemblies, specifically the 10 o'clock assembly, this place where our culture demands ushers a little more than the other two assemblies that we have each weekend. The ushers generally assist as needed to distribute anything that needs to be distributed, bulletins, and also they collect the donations at the end of the service and any documents that require collection, such as the Connect card, which I know you tear out and fill out every time in order to be a blessing to those around you and to the speaker as well. But they collect those things, and they also help with hospitality by welcoming attendees and assisting them as needed. Things come up. People need a seat moved, or they're coming in a wheelchair, or whatever else. The usher is supposed to be aware of what's going on and do what they can to facilitate the entrance and exit of the people in attendance in our assemblies and our worship assemblies, and also during the assembly to stand in and help out as needed. And we have a security team as well. They're kind of Secret Service ushers, and they are armed, and they do make sure that our money is safe and that our people are safe. We also have a security system at Grace Baptist Church, in case you didn't know. There are 16 cameras, and they are active at all times, and they record all motion 24 hours a day. So anything that happens, it's recorded, and if we needed to go back and look at it, we can. Those cameras are spread out inside and outside throughout the facility. We also have a Sunday school superintendent who helps promote and facilitate our Sunday school ministries. And the Sunday school is not quite as robust as it used to be. because Awana has largely taken over the emphasis in our children's ministry area, and that's a Sunday night program. And our grace groups have largely replaced the need for adult Sunday school classes. We do still have a couples class for our adults, and we're not opposed to starting new classes if you've got a burden for one and want to lead it and you're qualified to do so, then let me know. But we do still have a Sunday school program for our Sunday school that currently meets at 9 a.m. And then we have a nursery director who organizes and oversees our children's church ministries. We have various children's church groups, depending on what age the child is. They'll go to a different group. And that's just for our 10 o'clock assembly. And also our nursery ministries are under her hand. So in this case, we have a woman doing it. Could be a man who's the nursery director. But whoever the nursery director is, he or she works with a team of volunteers that he or she builds, and they, serve our children and provide a safe environment for our children and do the necessary teaching and childcare tasks involved in maintaining a good, safe children's program, especially for Sunday mornings in our main assembly at 10 o'clock. So that concludes our non-elder church officers section, which is part 2 of this third base class.